Okay, here we go for round 24 of the lockdown quiz. Just to get the big shouts out of the way first, Davey from Lisburn and Jean, Caroline, Stuart, Josie and Bill, Stevie and Rita, and Betty and Sam, Big Sam. So, and everybody else I've missed here. So we're going to go on to round one, and still looking about 24 to 27 this week. If you get in there, you're going well. Okay, number one, Kurt Cobain, Amy Winehouse and Jim Morrison all died at what age? Okay, so it was Amy Winehouse, Jim Morrison and Kurt Cobain all died at what age? Number two, which company had the tagline that started "The Future's Bright"? Okay, so which company had the tagline that started "The Future's Bright"? And number three, what is the location in the USA that has been used regularly for breaking land speed records? Okay, so what's the name of the location in the USA that has been used regularly for breaking land speed records? That's a tough one. Number four, which geographical term has the opposite meaning to windward? So what's the opposite meaning to windward? And number five, what is the most common type of bat in Britain? Okay, so what's the most type of bat in Britain? I don't mean a cricket bat or anything, it's a wee bat that flies. So what's the most common bat in Britain? Number six, what's the smallest county in the Republic of Ireland? What's the smallest county in the Republic of Ireland? And number seven, what was the name of the volleyball in the movie Castaway? No, Tom Hanks, he had the volleyball, he had a friend, and what was the name of it that he named the volleyball? And number eight, daltonism is a medical term for which condition of the eyes? Okay, so daltonism is a medical term for which condition of the eyes? Okay, if you want to go over them, just rewind it back. And I'm going to give you the answers. So in a couple of seconds, so stop this and rewind it because I'm going to give you the answers here. Okay, Kurt Cobain, Amy Winehouse and Jim Morrison all died at 27. And which company had the tagline that started "The Future's Bright"? The Future's Orange, so it's orange phone. What is the location in the USA that's been used for breaking land speed records? It's Bonneville Salt Flats. Bonneville Salt Flats. And which geographical term has been the opposite meaning to windward? It was leeward. And the most common type of bat in Britain is a pipistrelle. And the smallest county in the Republic of Ireland is Louth. And the name of the volleyball in the film Castaway was Wilson. Daltonism is a medical term for which condition of the eyes? It's colour blindness. Okay, so what up them scores, and we're going to go on to round two. And it's a bit of music in here. There's one of the rounds, was it this one here? Yeah, I've done a music on killers, and one of the killers round got slipped into the music round accidentally, but I just left it in. But you got a music round, so another music question somewhere else. Okay, so round two. What band did Kenny Rogers leave in 1976 after 10 years? Okay, so he was in a band for 10 years and he left them in 1976. Kenny Rogers, what was the name of the band? And number two, what language is mentioned in Bananarama's Robert De Niro's Waiting? Okay, so what language is mentioned in Bananarama's Robert De Niro's Waiting? And number three, which Amy Winehouse song features the line "No, no, no"? So which Amy Winehouse song features the line "No, no, no"? And number four, in what year did Elvis Presley die? Okay, so what year did Elvis Presley die? Here's a wee tough one. Number 5, some of you will remember this. Girls Aloud was formed on the programme Pop Stars, but what was the name of the boy band Rivals? So when Girls Aloud was formed in Pop Stars, what was the name of the boy band Rivals? What was their name? And number 6, which Elvis song did the Pet Shop Boys have a hit with? Okay, so which Elvis song did the Pet Shop Boys have a hit with? And number 7, which pop singer played the role of a prisoner called John McVicker? Okay, so which pop singer played the role of prisoner John McVicker? And here's the murder one that slipped into this round. I don't know how, I must have lifted the wrong page. Said to have murdered over 218 victims while working as a doctor. He had the nickname Dr. Death. Who is he? Okay, so he is said to have murdered over 218 victims while working as a doctor, and he had the nickname Dr. Death. Can you remember his name? For a point. Okay. I'm going to pause that because I'm going to give you the answers here and add them up. See if we can get at least 6 in that round, 5 or 6. You're going well. Number 1, what band did Kenny Rogers leave in 1976 after 10 years? First edition, the first edition. What language is mentioned in Bananarama's Robert De Niro's Waiting? Talking Italian. And what Amy Winehouse song features the line "No, no, no"? That's Rehab. And Elvis Presley died in 1977. Girls Aloud was formed on the programme Pop Stars, but what was the name of the boy band Rivals? That was One True Voice. It's a hard enough one, that. One True Voice. And which Elvis song did the Pet Shop Boys have a hit with? Always on My Mind. Which pop singer played the role of a prisoner called John McVicker? Was Roger Daltrey from The Who. And said to have murdered over 218 victims while working as a doctor. And he had the nickname Dr. Death. He was Harold Shipman. You do well if you remember some of them. So add up them scores and we're going to go on to round 3. And number 1, what is the name commonly used to call the University of Paris? Okay, so what name is commonly used to call the University of Paris? What's another name that people call it? Number 2, which city in the US would you find McCarran Airport? So which city in the US would you find McCarran Airport? I'm sure some of you have flew into it. So number 3, there are 3 African countries that have 4 names in their 4 letters in their name. Name me 2 for 1 point. Okay, so there are 3 African countries that have 4 letters in their name. Give me 2 of them for 1 point. Number 4, what is the only country that borders the United Kingdom? What is the only country that borders the United Kingdom? Number 5, by area, what is the smallest country in the world? By area, what is the smallest country in the world? And after Alaska, which state has the longest coastline? So Alaska has the longest coastline, but what comes next after Alaska? Who has the second largest coastline? And number 7, the Silk Road, Silk S-I-L-K, the Silk Road was a trade route between which 2 continents? Okay, the Silk Road was a trade route between which 2 continents? And the last one in this round, what is the largest desert in Australia? Okay, so I'm looking for at least 5 in this round. So pause it, and I'm going to give you the answers. We're going to move on to round 4, which is the killer round. What is the name commonly used to call the University of Paris? It's the Sorbonne. And which city in the US would you find McCarran Airport? It's Las Vegas. And there are 3 African countries that have 4 names in their title, in their country, in their name. So for 1 point, you could all have it. There's three of them. There were Chad, Mali, or Togo. So if you had any two of them, give yourselves a point. And what's the only country that borders the United Kingdom? It's the Republic of Ireland. By area, what is the smallest country in the world? The Vatican City. And after Alaska, which state has the longest coastline? Florida. The Silk Road was a trade route between which two countries? Europe and Asia. And the largest desert in Australia is the Great Victoria Desert. Okay, so add them up and write your scores down. And this is the killer round, but I've few music one to balance it up because I've done it wrong in the first round. Okay, number one. What is the name of the last woman to be hanged in Britain? So what was the name of the last woman to be hanged in Britain? Number two. What was the US serial killer Albert DeSalvo better known? How was the US serial killer Albert DeSalvo better known? To give them all sort of nicknames, so how was he known? Here's another murderer one. Which US murderer killed 17 men and boys between 1978 and 1991 and had the nickname the Milwaukee Monster? So which US murderer killed 17 men and boys between 1978 and 1991 and had the nickname the Milwaukee Monster? Number four. Bonnie and Clyde. What was Clyde's surname? Okay, Bonnie and Clyde. What was Clyde's surname? Okay, number five. Probably Britain's best known hangman. He also hung Ruth Ellis. What was his name? Okay, probably Britain's best known hangman. He also hung Ruth Ellis. And what was his name? Who sang, number six, who sang the theme tune to the Bond film The Living Daylights? So who sang the theme tune to the Bond film The Living Daylights? Number seven, a psychopath named Max Cady goes after a southern couple in the USA. Name the film. A psychopath called Max Cady goes after a southern couple in the USA. Name the film. And number eight, what was the name of the gang member who shot and killed Jesse James? What was the name of the gang member who shot and killed Jesse James? Right, answers. So pause it if you haven't got them all down, or if you want to go back and a few of them, rewind it. So what is the name of the last woman to be hanged in Britain? Ruth Ellis. What was the US serial killer Albert DeSalvo better known? Or how was the US serial killer Albert DeSalvo better known? The Boston Strangler. Number three, which US murderer killed 17 men and boys between 1978 and 1991 and had the nickname the Milwaukee Monster? It was Jeffrey Dahmer. And Bonnie and Clyde, what was Clyde's surname? So it was Bonnie Parker and Clyde Barrow. Barrow was his name. And probably Britain's best known hangman. He also hung Ruth Ellis. What was his name? Albert Pierpoint. And who sang the theme tune to the Bond film The Living Daylights? Aha. And number seven, a psychopath named Max Cady goes after a southern couple. Name the film. It was Cape Fear. And what was the name of the gang member who shot and killed Jesse James? Bob Ford. Okay, we're moving on to the last round. A couple of tough ones here since the last round. So I'm hoping to get 4 or 5 in this round. You're doing well. How many international airports are there in Southern Ireland? Okay, so how many international airports are there in Southern Ireland? You don't need to name them, just tell me how many. And in what profession is a white hat called a toque? That's T-O-Q-U-E, a toque. In what profession is a white hat called a toque worn? And number 3, what nationality precedes manowar to get the name of a toxic marine creature? What nationality precedes manowar to get the name of a toxic marine creature? And what nationality was Vidkun Quisling, whose name became a word for a traitor after World War II? So that was, what nationality was Vidkun Quisling, whose name became a word for a traitor after World War II? And number 5, what eye colour is the rarest colour worldwide? What eye colour is the rarest colour worldwide? And number 6, Stephen Fry appeared on which quiz before he became famous? Stephen Fry appeared on which quiz show before he became famous? And number 7, when Moses went up Mount Sinai to get the 10 Commandments, what graven image did the Israelites make? Okay, so when Moses went up Mount Sinai to get the 10 Commandments, what graven image did the Israelites make? And the last one in this round, what does the musical term forte mean? Okay, so what does the musical term forte mean? F-O-R-T-E. Right, if you need to go over them, just rewind that and I'm going to give the answers. So if you don't want to hear the answers now, pause it here and you can go back to them. Okay, the last round answers is, how many international airports are there in Southern Ireland? There are 5. You've got Dublin, Cork, Kerry, Shannon, and Ireland West, which is in Knock in County Mayo. So there's 5. In what profession is a white hat called a toque worn? A chef. And what nationality precedes manowar to get the name of a toxic marine creature? Portuguese manowar, it's a big jellyfish. What nationality was Vidkun Quisling, whose name became a word for a traitor after World War II? He was Norwegian. And what eye colour is the rarest colour worldwide? It's green. And Stephen Fry appeared on which quiz show before he became famous? He was on University Challenge. And when Moses went up Mount Sinai to get the 10 Commandments, what graven image did the Israelites make? They made the golden calf. And what does the musical term forte mean? It means loud. Okay, hope you enjoyed that one. So that's 24, locked in quiz 24. So the next one that comes up, that will be 1,000 questions that I've done after the next one. 1,000. Time goes in. I tried to get this on earlier on the day, but and outside, but the light was too bright for me, and I think the light was shining the screen. It's hard to see, so I had to cancel it and come in here half an hour before I start working, get it done then. So I'll see you all in a couple of weeks. Let me know how you get on, how you done. Okay, have a good week.